Hello everybody, today back another video. Oh boy, Novak Djokovic has just completed the career Golden Slam in his 5th Olympic Games. He played the first back in 2008 for the first time, lost an epic 3-set match against Rafa Nadal in the semi-finals, and then played his second Olympic Games in 2012. In 2008, he played in Beijing against Nadal, where he lost in 3 sets in the semifinals. In 2012, he played in London on grass and lost the semifinal there against Andy Murray. In 2016, he played in Rio, where he lost against Juan Martín del Potro in the first round. In 2021, because due to COVID, they played the Olympic Games in 2021 and not in 2020. He lost in Tokyo against Alexander Zverev in the semifinal, despite it being 1 set and a break up. And in his 5th attempt, in his least favorite surface, which is clay, that is his least preferred surface, he goes on and wins his first ever Olympic gold medal. The only thing that has been missing in Novak Djokovic resume, in Novak Djokovic CV, in Novak Djokovic cabinet, call it what you want, baby. He finally did it as 37 years old in his most likely, I personally believe, last Olympic Games, because I really don't believe he will play the Olympic Games 2028 in Los Angeles, even though that he's not ruling out that possibility completely out. And he did it in his 5th and final Olympic and won his first ever Olympic gold medal as 37 years old in his least favorite surface, clay. Man, what can we say about this man that has not been said before? What can we say about Novak Djokovic that has not been said before? Which kind of superlatives can we give towards this guy that has not been given before? I don't know if I have enough words to describe what this guy has done, this Terminator, this Predator, this machine, Novak Djokovic. He was the greatest tennis player of all time already a couple of years ago. That debate has already done in conclusion. That is over for me, at least. This video is not about Djokovic cementing himself as the greatest tennis player of all time. He already cemented that case was closed already a couple of years ago. This video is not about that. This video is about Novak Djokovic is the greatest athlete of all time. Do we have another athlete who has accomplished so many things like Djokovic has done? Do we have? Yeah, we have. Usain Bolt, Muhammad Ali, Lionel Messi, Michael Phelps, to mention some. But has somebody achieved so many great things in a brutal, difficult sport like tennis is? Has somebody in other sports have such a longevity like Djokovic has had? Or has somebody have in other sports been this good for so long time, being this good in his 30s like Djokovic has been? And having so many records like Djokovic have, and going against all odds like this year, he has not won against one single top 10 opponent before he defeated Carlos Alcaraz in this match. This year, he has not won one single title this year in this 2024 season prior to this Olympic Games. This year, he just got a beat down 3 weeks ago in that Wimbledon final against the same opponent like he defeated in this Olympic gold medal match. And if this was not enough, he just had an surgery in his right knee just 2 months ago. Despite all this, he comes and does one of his best matches of his career, according to me. For sure, by far, his best match of the year. For sure, by far. But not only the best match of the year from his side, but one of his best performances that I've ever seen him perform. Really, I will talk about that later. But Djokovic, man, 24 Grand Slam titles, 37 Grand Slam finals, 40,000 Master 1000 titles, 428 weeks as world number one, 8-year ending as world number one. He has ended as year-end. He has been year-end number one for 8 years. I don't know if I forgot something. For sure I have forgotten something. He has won triple Grand Slam titles. He has won all the Grand Slams at least 3 times. He has double Golden Master 1000 titles. He has won all the Masters at least 2 times. He has won ATP Tour. He has won the year-end championship 7 times, of course, records. Of course, all these things that I mentioned, all these things are records. All these things I just mentioned is something that nobody has done in the past. Nobody. And now, finally, as this late in his career, in his 5th Olympic Games, he goes on, as 37 years old, he goes on and wins the only title that is missing in his cabinet, the only title that is eluding him, an Olympic gold. He goes on and wins it as 37 years old. And who does he do it against? Against the best player of this 2024 season, against a 4-time Grand Slam champion, against against the best 21-year-old of a player that I have ever seen in my life, and like many other tennis lovers around the world have ever seen in their lives. Carlos Alcaraz in straight sets. You need to be impressed. You must be impressed with this kind of a performance like Djokovic has just done, for God's sakes. And if you guys don't believe, against a beast like Alcaraz, and Alcaraz is a beast, believe me. He's only 21 years and he has already won 4 Grand Slam titles. And he is the youngest to win 3 different Grand Slams in 3 different surfaces. If you just take the big 3 when they were 21 years old of age, Djokovic had only one Grand Slam title when he was 21 years old. Federer had only 1 Grand Slam title when he was 21 years old. Nadal had 3 Grand Slam titles when he was 21 years old. Carlos Alcaraz has already 4 Grand Slam titles as 21 years old. And he has 2 more Grand Slam tournaments to play as 21 years old. The US Open later this year and Australian Open next year. So Carlos Alcaraz is a beast, is the real deal. Djokovic just defeated that guy in straight sets. Despite that Djokovic is 16 years older than the dude. 16 years older than the dude. And Carlos Alcaraz, who just completely outplayed him 3 weeks ago at that Wimbledon final. Despite all this, Novak Djokovic, he just went against all of this, and he was not the favorite. He was the underdog in this final. He proved us all wrong. I didn't believe Djokovic will win the French Open earlier this year. He proved me right there. I didn't believe Djokovic will win Wimbledon last month. He proved me right there. I didn't believe Djokovic would win the Olympic Games this year, 2024, in his last and 5th attempt. He proved me completely wrong, baby. And I'm really happy that he did that. I'm really happy because it is somebody who deserves to to just to have that perfect ending in his career, to have that last big title that he has never won in his career. It is of course Novak Djokovic. If Andrew Agassi could complete the career Golden Slam, if Rafael Nadal could complete the career Golden Slam, why in hell should not Novak Djokovic complete the career Golden Slam when he's a bigger tennis player than those two? When he has achieved much more on a tennis court than those two, especially much more than Andrew Agassi, and of course more than Nadal as well. If those two could do it, if those two achieved that career Golden Slam, bloody Novak Djokovic deserves to be in that league as well. And now Novak became the only fifth player, male or female, to complete the career Golden Slam. And if you guys don't know what the career Golden Slam means, to complete that is when a player wins all the four majors in his career, or in she's career if the player is a woman, and to also win the Olympic gold. And now Djokovic is the only fifth player to ever do it. The other four players, male or female, are Steffi Graf, Serena Williams, Andrew Agassi, Rafael Nadal, and now Djokovic goes and becomes the only fifth player to ever do it, and the only third male player to ever do it, after Andrew Agassi, Rafael Nadal, and now Djokovic. He really deserved it. A career of Novak's magnitude. He has the greatest tennis career of all time. Full conclusion. Nobody comes close to Novak Djokovic's career. He has done it all, baby. I just mentioned all of those, not all, some of those great achievements that he has achieved in his career, in his fabulous, magical, impeccable, out of this world tennis career. I just mentioned some of those big, huge records that he has achieved in his tennis career. So he really deserved this one as well. He really badly wanted it. He really wished it. He really desired it. So he for sure deserved it to fulfill this magical tennis career with an Olympic gold. Winning Olympic gold, of course, is not as big as winning Grand Slams. It is not. I'm not saying that. But it is for sure a huge title. It is for sure a huge achievement. Because especially for players like Djokovic, who loves competing for his country, and players who has won the Olympic gold before, you have seen it. Rafael Nadal, when he won it, he was super happy. Alexander Sasha Zverev, when he won it 3 years ago, 2021, at in that Tokyo Olympic Games, he was super happy as well. And those two guys, to mention some, they value those Olympic golds extremely high. And Djokovic, he values this Olympic gold extremely high as well. And you could see that after he won the match, he was crying. He went up to the stand. He was hugging his family, his wife, his daughter, his son, his entire team, and he was just so happy, so relieved. And he was in shock. And he said it after the match, I'm in shock. I have put my soul, my heart, my body, my family, everything in line to win this Olympic gold as 37 years old, and I finally did it. That was his exactly words when he won this Olympic gold. So I really am happy for him and for all the Novak Djokovic fans out there in the world. He really deserved it. He really deserved it. Like I said, a career of Novak's magnitude, the greatest tennis career of all time. It would have been a shame for him to not win that Olympic gold medal. It really would have been a shame. And even though I predicted Alcaraz to win this match, because I just predict what I believe, I really hope that Djokovic would prove me wrong. And some of you guys out there seems to believe that I'm a Novak Djokovic hater, I'm a Novak Djokovic fanboy. It really is not true. I swear to God it is not true. I didn't believe Djokovic would win Wimbledon last month, also against Alcaraz. That doesn't make me a Djokovic hater. I just went into this final and I just thought that Alcaraz is too powerful of a player, too confident of a player. He's the best player of the year in this 2024 season, and Djokovic has not done much this year. He has, for God's sake, not even won one title. He had only one final prior to this Olympic gold medal match, and that final was the Wimbledon final last month. So, and he has not defeated one single top 10 player this year. So I had my reasons, I had my arguments, but Djokovic proved me wrong, and I'm really super thrilled that he did. So now for me, Djokovic is the greatest athlete of all time. For me, it is. Some of you maybe agree, some of you maybe don't agree, but for me, the guy, yeah, Lionel Messi is the athlete that comes to him closest, but Lionel Messi, yeah, all respect to him, he's for sure one of the greatest athletes of all time as well. But for me, Djokovic is me. Tennis is a brutal sport. Djokovic plays an individual sport. Messi plays a team sport where you can rely on your teammates. If you have a bad day, they can help you out. They can make your life easier. They can help you score a lot of goals. In tennis, nobody is helping you. You are out there alone. You are traveling around the world. You play all kinds of different surfaces: hard courts, grass, clay, indoors, best of 5 sets, best of 3 sets. All generations comes with you. Djokovic has knocked out a lot of generations during this 15-20 year of career that he has had. And now he's even challenging this new great generation in Alcaraz and Sinner. He should not challenge them. For God's sakes, he's 16 years older than Alcaraz. He's 14 years older than Sinner. He should not challenge these guys. He is almost in the same. Those two guys, Sinner and Alcaraz, they can almost be his sons. But when you are the greatest athlete of all time, you can challenge even players that are 16 years younger than you and that are 14 years younger than you. But that is what Djokovic is doing, and he's won everything. Like I said in the video, he has won 40 Masters, he has won 24 Grand Slam titles, he has played 37 Grand Slam finals, he has the most world number one in weeks, 428 weeks. He has most year end as world number one, 8 years he has ended as world number one. He has won 7 ATP Tour finals in his career. He has won 7 year-end championships. 7 times he has won that year-end championship 7 times. Record there, record in Masters, record in world number ones in weeks, record in most Grand Slam titles, record in most Grand Slam finals played to 37. He has most big titles of all players. Now he has 72 big titles, which is 15 more than Rafael Nadal, who has 57, which is 18 more than Roger Federer, who has 54. And he has a better head-to-head record against his 2 big chief rivals, Nadal and Federer. He leads over Federer 27 towards 23 in the head-to-head in matches. So he has 4 more victories than Federer all in all in the head-to-head. The same score in the Grand Slams as well. We have 4 more Grand Slam titles than Federer. Federer has 20 Grand Slams and Djokovic has 24 Grand Slams. And then Nadal, he leads Nadal in the head-to-head, 31 versus 29. The biggest rival in tennis by far. They have met each other 60 times. Even there, he has 2 more victories than Nadal. The same Grand Slam score there as well, where he has 2 more Grand Slam titles than Nadal. Nadal has 22 Grand Slam titles and Djokovic has 24 Grand Slam titles. So I don't know what can we say more about this guy. If he's not the greatest athlete of all time, who is? Who is? What does he need to do more? Nadal fans throughout the years have said he has not won the Olympic gold. Nadal has the Olympic gold. Now he also won that bloody Olympic gold as well. What can the Nadal fans say more? What can they say more? Do they have more arguments? Djokovic has rested the case not only for the greatest tennis player of all time. He has more or less rested the case for the greatest athlete of all time as well. I'm bloody impressed. I'm bloody impressed. And winning these Olympic Games without dropping one single set, the first player to ever do it. Nobody has won an Olympic gold medal on the men's side without dropping one single set. Djokovic has become the first one to do it. Oh man, I don't know. This video is becoming so long, so I just forgot to talk about the match. What can I say about the match? The match was close. It took almost 3 hours for this match to be completed. Took 2 hours and 52 minutes, something like that. But Djokovic was just he out-clutched Carlos Alcaraz. He was more resilient than Carlos Alcaraz. He was more consistent than Carlos Alcaraz. His forehand was firing in all the cylinders. His forehand was better than Carlos Alcaraz's forehand, especially in that second set tiebreak. The first set, it was even Steven. The second as well, but let's talk about the first. Carlos Alcaraz had 8 break point opportunities in the first set. Couldn't convert any of them. He had 5 only in that 9th game of the first set, in that 4-all game. Djokovic came clutch in all of those 5 break point opportunities that Carlos had, and he saved all 5 of them. And then they went to a tie break. Djokovic also had a couple of break point opportunities in the first set. He had 5 break point opportunities in total in that first set. Novak Djokovic. Carlos Alcaraz had 8 break point opportunities in the first set. 8. Not 5, I said 5 about Carlos. That was wrong. Carlos had in total 8 break point opportunities in that first set, but he had 5 only in one game, which was in that 9th game of the first set, in that 4-all game. But Djokovic saved all of them. We didn't see any break of serves in that first set, despite having 13 break point opportunities in total for both players in that first set. And then they went to a tie break where Djokovic completely closed the unforced errors store. Completely. After going toe-to-toe with each other in the beginning of the first set tiebreak 3-all, and then Djokovic won 4 consecutive points and won the first set tiebreak 7-3, and gave Carlos Alcaraz 0 unforced errors. Djokovic does 0 unforced errors in that first set tiebreak. Fast forward the second set. The second set was much more. It was not even close of break point opportunities for the players. Carlos had 0 break point opportunities in the second set. Novak had only 1 break point opportunity in that second set, because Novak was serving like a beast. We'll talk about his serve later. He was serving like an alien in that second set, Novak Djokovic. So they were holding serve pretty comfortably, both of the players. And they went to a second set tiebreak as well. And in that second set tiebreak, like the first, they went toe-to-toe with each other in the beginning of the second set tiebreak. But when the score was 2-all, Novak just said to Carlos Alcaraz, you know what? You are the best tennis player of the world at the current moment, with 2 Grand Slam titles that you won this year so far, and Indian Wells that you have won as well this year. So you are the best tennis player in the world this year. But I am the greatest tennis player of all time, and I want to become the greatest athlete of all time as well. I'm pushing the beast mode button, and he won 5 consecutive points when the score was 2-all in that second set tiebreak, with unbelievable forehand hitting, with unbelievable forehand cross court. That was Novak's forehand that won him the second set. I believe he did 3 forehand winners in that second set tiebreak, if I'm not mistaken, and in another forehand that made him hit a smash. It was the forehand that made him hit that smash with a great, deep, hard forehand. So out of 7 points that Novak won in that second set tiebreak, he won 4 of those points. It was his forehand who won those points. 3 of them was clean forehand winners, and one of them was he did damage with his forehand, and then he hit a volley, overhead volley to win the point. And he won that second set tiebreak 7-2, I'm sorry. Out of 19 points that was played on these tiebreaks, the first set tiebreak was played 10 points, which Novak won 7-3, and the second set tiebreak was 9 points, which Novak won 7-2. Out of 19 points that was played in these two tiebreaks, Novak Djokovic did 1 unforced error. 1, baby. And that was in the second set tiebreak. In the first set tiebreak, he does 0 unforced errors. In the second set tiebreak, he does 1 unforced error with his forehand. When he hit the forehand long. He completely closed the unforced errors door. And he went lockdown mode. And when Djokovic goes lockdown mode, you are in trouble, baby. And if you make some unforced error, which Carlos of course did, both in the first set tiebreak and in the second set tiebreak, he did a couple of unforced errors, both in the first set tiebreak and in the second set tiebreak. Djokovic will not show any mercy. Exactly like Nadal said when Nadal lost against Novak Djokovic in the second round. He said that I did some unforced errors and Novak doesn't forgive you. And Novak didn't forgive Nadal in that second round, and Novak didn't for sure forgive Alcaraz in this final as well. So Novak Djokovic went lockdown mode in these two tiebreaks and won this match because he was a much better player than Carlos Alcaraz in these two tiebreaks. Because before the tiebreak started, the match was pretty close. And to be quite honest, the first set, Carlos even was a slightly better player in that first set. Who knows if Carlos would have won that longest game of the match, which was the 9th game in that first set. If he would have won that when he had 5 break point opportunities in that 9th game of the first set, that 4-all game, he most likely would have won the first set, and who knows how the match would have ended. But when Djokovic somehow survived that 9th game of the first set, and then Djokovic really, he started to believe in himself more and more, and he just never went down in his level, Novak. He really never down. But before coming into that first set tiebreak, Alcaraz actually won 50 points and Djokovic won 48 points. So Djokovic was slightly the better. Alcaraz was slightly the better player before coming into that first set tiebreak. With more winning points before the first set tiebreak started. But when the first set tiebreak ended, Djokovic won 55 points and Alcaraz won 53 points. So all in all, Djokovic won 2 more points than Carlos Alcaraz in the first set tiebreak. In the first set in total. In the second set, before the second set tiebreak started, Alcaraz won 35 points, Djokovic won 39 points. So that second set, Djokovic was slightly the better player before the second set tiebreak started. And then when the second set tiebreak was finished, all in all in that second set, Djokovic wins 46 points and Alcaraz wins 37 points. So Djokovic wins 9 more points than Alcaraz in that second set in total. So some stats. Alcaraz, he does one. Let's start with Djokovic. Djokovic does 1 ace, 2 double faults, so he does more double faults than aces. He lands 74% first serves in Novak Djokovic, which was a crucial, which I mentioned in my previous video, that he needs to land a lot of first serves in, and he needs to find the spots as well. He cannot do like in Wimbledon. In Wimbledon, he landed 70% first serves in, but he was not finding the spots. Here, he was finding the spots. He was landing so high percentage of first serves in, 74. He won 78% on his first serve. He won 50% on his second serve. He didn't break Carlos' serve in one single time in the entire match. But he created 6 break point opportunities in the entire match. Djokovic 5 in the first set and 1 in the second set, but didn't break one single time because Carlos was saving all of those break points. and he was great at the net as well. Djokovic, he was much better at the net than what the case was at Wimbledon 3 weeks ago. He attacked the net 36 times, Novak Djokovic, and won 24 of those net approaches, which makes it to 67% successful at the net. And he does 17 winners, Novak Djokovic, and 25 unforced errors. So Djokovic does 8 more unforced errors than winners actually in the entire match. But when the chips were down, which was on the tie breaks, he did only 1 unforced error. Only 1. So Djokovic did to Alcaraz what he did to Federer 4 years ago in that Wimbledon final 2019, where Djokovic, in 3 tiebreaks that he won against Roger Federer, he did 0 unforced errors. He did almost the same thing here, but he did here in these 2 tiebreaks, he did 1 unforced error. Almost as good in these 2 tiebreaks Djokovic was against Alcaraz like he was against Federer in that Wimbledon final 2019. So Djokovic was really good at the net, much better than he was in that Wimbledon final 3 weeks ago, where he attacked the net in that Wimbledon final 53 times and won only 27 of those net approaches, which makes it to only 51% successful. Here he was much better. All in all, Novak won in the entire match 101 points. Alcaraz, how was his stats? They were not so bad. He does 1 ace, 1 double fault. He landed 66% first serve in, which is really high to be called Alcaraz. He won 72% when his first serve. He won 48% when his second serve. He created 8 breakpoint opportunities in the entire match, which all of those 8 were in the first set. He didn't create 1 single breakpoint opportunity in the second set because Djokovic was serving like a beast in that second set. And he attacked the net, Djokovic 24 times, Alcaraz 24 times, and won 15 of those net approaches, which makes it to 63% successful. And he did 34 winners and 33 unforced errors, calls Alcaraz the entire match. So he does actually 1 more winner than unforced error. And the entire match, Carlos won 90 points. Djokovic won 101 points the entire match. So Djokovic wins 11 more points than Carlos Alcaraz the entire match. So Carlos Alcaraz was not defeating himself. He was not a disaster. Where Carlos was defeating himself little, not much, was in those tiebreaks where Carlos was doing little more unforced errors. And you cannot afford against a lockdown mode Djokovic. You cannot afford that because he will not forgive you, like Nadal called it in that second round. And Djokovic didn't forgive Alcaraz for making those unforced errors, both in the first set and in the second set. So, if you look at Novak's serve, to talk a little about Novak's serve, man, his serve was a beast. His serve, especially in the second set. Only the second set, Novak landed a high percentage of first serve in the entire match, like I just demonstrated in this video. But if you look, Novak lands 69% first serve in the first set. And won 75% behind his first serve and 44% behind his second serve in that first set alone. If you look at the second set, where Novak even raised his serving the performance even more in the second set, he lands 83% first serve in Novak Djokovic in the second set. 83%, and he wins 83% behind his first serve. So he was winning a lot of points behind his first serve. 83%. He was winning of his first points in that second set. So he was landing 83% in the second set first serve, and he was winning 83% behind his first serve. And he was winning 67% behind his second serve. Novak Djokovic, 64% Novak Djokovic was winning of points behind his second serve in that second set. So he barely needed to use, no, not 64, 67, yeah, I believe 67, yeah. He was winning 67% behind his second serve in the second set, Novak Djokovic. He barely needed to use his second serve, Novak Djokovic, in that second set, because he was landing so high percentage of first serve. What can we say? I'm so impressed with Novak Djokovic. It was just an unbelievable performance. Big congratulations to Novak Djokovic for completing his career Golden Slam in his 5th attempt, in his 5th Olympic Games. Am I shocked? No, I'm not. Am I surprised? Little, yes. I am. Especially considering how his year has been, I'm a little surprised. Especially, I'm surprised that he was able to defeat Carlos Alcaraz in straight sets. I really don't believe he will defeat Carlos Alcaraz in straight sets. I have not seen Djokovic serve this big since ATP Tour Finals last year in Turin, where he crushed Carlos Alcaraz in the semi-final when he won 81% in his first serve against Carlos Alcaraz and 56% behind his second serve in that semi-final when he defeated Carlos Alcaraz 6-3, 6-2. And then Sinner in the final, even bigger of a performance when he won 91% in his first serve and 64% in his second serve. So, I'm not seeing Djokovic serving this big since those two victories against Alcaraz and Sinner. And it was exactly, if I could say some reasons why Djokovic won this match, it was because of his serve. He served so much, he served better than Carlos. It was because of his resilience. He was much more resilient than Carlos. It was because of his consistency and his consistency. He was much more consistent than Carlos from the baseline, especially on those two tiebreaks where he completely closed the unforced store, like I just mentioned in the video. And of course, the biggest reason, most probably, is because of his serve. His serve. And the forehand. The forehand. I should not forget the forehand. And the willpower. He had that willpower. He just wanted this so badly. And the return, return was also really good. If you look at the first serve return points won, Djokovic wins 52 points. 28 points, and Carlos wins 22 points. Not points, percent. Djokovic wins of the first serve return points won. Djokovic wins 28%. Carlos wins 22%. If you look at the second serve return points won, Djokovic wins 52% and Carlos wins 50%. So even on the return department, Djokovic was better than Carlos. So Djokovic does a much better match than what he did at Wimbledon. Not that he was a disaster at Wimbledon. He was not, according to me. He was not. But Carlos also did a worse match here. At Wimbledon, Carlos does 42 winners and 24 unforced errors. He does 18 more winners than unforced errors at Wimbledon. At Wimbledon, Carlos wins 84% in his first serve, 51% in his second serve. Despite Carlos landing 59% first serve in that Wimbledon final, he wins so much more both behind his first serve and behind his second serve, especially behind his first serve. Here, Carlos lands 66% first serves in, but wins 72% behind his first serve, which is not bad. But compared with the Wimbledon final 3 weeks ago, where he won 84% behind his first serve, 84%. Winning points behind his second serve, it was not big of a difference. Here he won 48% behind his second serve. Carlos Alcaraz in that Wimbledon final 3 weeks ago against Djokovic, he won 51%. So Carlos does a worse match here, and Djokovic does a much better match here, and then you have this result. But still, Carlos was not outplayed whatsoever. Yes, it was straight sets, but it was two tight straight sets which ended both in tiebreaks. And in tiebreaks, Djokovic is, after all, the greatest tiebreak player of all time. I remember when he won French Open last year, he didn't lose one single tiebreak. He played 6 tiebreaks, if I'm not mistaken, in that French Open victory last year, 2023. He won all of those 6 tiebreaks. He does the same thing here. He didn't play as many tiebreaks here. He played 3 tiebreaks here, and he won all of them. 1 against Tsitsipas in the quarterfinal, and 2 here against Carlos Alcaraz in the final. So Djokovic was the better player than Carlos Alcaraz. He outclassed Carlos Alcaraz. He was the better player than Carlos Alcaraz when it mattered the most, which was the tiebreaks, both the first set and second set. He had a better forehand than Carlos Alcaraz. He served better than Carlos Alcaraz. He returned better than Carlos Alcaraz, and he somehow also maybe even fought better than Carlos Alcaraz. Maybe, I don't know. But in the end, Djokovic was the clutcher player and the steadier player, and that's why he in the end won. But that second set tiebreak, it was his forehand that made Djokovic win that second set tiebreak. I've not seen Djokovic hit that forehand that big, that hard, that deep since last year. And he showed that in the second set tiebreak. And like I said earlier in my video, one unforced error in 2 tiebreaks. In 19 points played, Djokovic does 1 unforced error in those 2 tiebreaks. How can you stop that? How can you stop that? Djokovic went beast mode in those 2 tiebreaks, especially in the second one, but in the first one as well. He went beast mode. And when Djokovic goes beast mode, it is really difficult stopping him. Big congratulations to Novak Djokovic, because this video has become super long. I really am sorry for that. Big congratulations to Novak Djokovic for his first ever Olympic gold medal. He really, really deserved it. And for me now, he's the greatest athlete of all time. I don't know if you guys agree or don't agree, but for me, he is the greatest athlete of all time. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, see you next time. Peace.